Evil thoughts in your mind keep running through. Not quite sure what you wanna do. Like what is this world coming to? Life goes on even if you don't want it to. It's a sad ride home. If the good die young, do the bad die old? Let me know. I'm just trying to carry my load. Another good nigga living by the bad guy code.
What is up? Welcome to another episode of a Maximilian Must Know. We got another sample shopping episode for you, of course, sponsored by my friend Adriana at Decant Shop. Best place online for you to get samples and decants of different types of fragrances, discontinued fragrances, niche fragrances, designer fragrances, any type of fragrance you could think of. Coupon code MAX12 is going to save you 12% of your entire order. The prices are already as low as possible, but that 12% should save you a little bit of money. So with holidays coming, you know, not too far, it'd be a great gift to get someone a gift card to Decant Shop, or pick them out a selection of fragrances from Decant Shop. And the 4 fragrances we're going to talk about today, all available on Decant Shop's website. So we're going to start out with one from the house of Maitre, Parfumeur et Gantier. And we looked at Parfum de Habit last week, and I really liked that one. I also sort of explained my infatuation with this house last week, as it is an offshoot of L'Artisan Parfumé. The owner left L'Artisan to start this house. And this is one that I've wanted to look at for a long time. It's been on actually a list that I have of fragrances I'm comfortable with blind buying. Happy I don't have to. This one is called Bois de Turquie, and it came out in 2008 from perfumer Jean-Paul Mélange. He's the same one that did Parfum de Habit. And the notes on this one are orange blossom, mandarin orange, and bergamot at the top. So a big blast of sort of orange. Orris root, jasmine, West Indian bay, and geranium in the middle. Sandalwood, patchouli, incense, and myrrh in the base. And you can grab this one for like 80 bucks online. It's a very different fragrance. I get a lot of orris root in this one, and iris. Even though iris isn't actually listed as a note. So orris root, iris, sandalwood, and incense. That's what this one is about to me. It's really out there. It's very different. I am comfortable purchasing this one. I really like it. I just think it's different from everything else out there. If you're an iris fan and you like sandalwood and you like incense, you should definitely check this one out. But it's also really hard to describe because there's not a lot out there like it. It's actually really hard for me to even compare it to anything other than to say if you're an iris fan and you're a sandalwood fan, you should take a look at this one. Really good. Another great one. Hope Decant Shop picks up some more from this house. The next one we're going to take a look at is from the house of Olfactive Studio, and it's called Still Life. And we've looked at a few of these fragrances on this show. None of them have really blown me away. I really thought Panorama, you know, with that wasabi note, was going to be the aha scent for me, and it just didn't happen. Now, they do have a new one coming out called Close Up, which has notes that look very much up my alley, guys. They've got a cherry note in there. There's a coffee note in there. There's a white tobacco note in there. There's a tonka note in there. And the perfumer on that one is Enic Monardo. And she's a favorite perfumer of mine. So that one looks really interesting. But I also felt that way about Panorama, which is a nice little fragrance, but it doesn't blow me away. Now, Still Life was one of their first releases. They followed that up recently with a flanker called Still Life in Rio, which I have not checked out. But the original Still Life came out in 2011. The perfumer behind this one is Dora Bagriche Arnaud. Not familiar with her or her work. And the notes on this one are yuzu, pink pepper, elemi, black pepper, and Sichuan pepper at the top, galbanum and star anise in the middle, cedar, rum, and amber in the base. You can sometimes find these cheaper on eBay. I found a 50 ml for like 95 bucks. If you want a 100 ml, you're going to pay $200 for this. So these can be pricey. And Lucky Scent does carry this brand. Now, as far as Still Life goes, disappointing scent to me. It's a spicy citrus fragrance, but I think what's disappointing about it, it's good quality, but $200 for that 100 ml. I think what's disappointing is it's just not a beast on my skin. It's just blah, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice It's a nice, spicy citrus fragrance. I don't know the yuzu. Yeah, I guess I do get the yuzu, I should say. I get yuzu. I get pink pepper. I was hoping the star anise and galbanum would come out a little bit more. They're really not there for me. I do get pepper. It's got two types of pepper, black and pink. I get a little bit of resin. But overall, man, it's just another fragrance from this house that's just not there for me. So, you know, unfortunately for me, guys, it's a little bit of a letdown. And the next one we're going to talk about is from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo. It's called Incanto Blue. Now, believe it or not, I own 4 fragrances from Ferragamo. I own Subtle Pour Homme, the original Pour Homme, Attimo, and F. I like Pour Homme and F. I don't really like the other 2, but I just don't reach for them too often. On sample shopping, we looked at Aqua Essenze Blue, which I thought was actually decent. But at this point, I'm only interested in their higher end fragrances, that Tuscan scent line and that Tuscan Soul collection. Now, this one, Incanto Blue, has notes of aldehydes, artemisia, caraway, coriander, green notes, tarragon, pepper, bergamot, carnation, cinnamon, jasmine, rose, leather, tonka bean, amber, patchouli, musk, oak moss, vanilla, and cedar. It's about a $20 fragrance on discount websites, and for me, it's not worth $5. It's that baloney cologne thing that you've heard talked about. Your Fragrance Brothers, I think, coined that term. Anytime a fragrance has blue in the title, it scares me. You know, it just makes me think it's going to be this cologne laced synthetic aquatic fragrance, and that's what these is. That's what this is. I don't get 90% of the notes in here. This is cologne, citrus, a couple of florals maybe. It's awful. And when I say awful, I don't mean it smells awful. I mean it's just awful in terms of originality, quality, and performance. It's horrible. So the one we're going to finish up with is from the house of Christian Dior. This one is called Sauvage. I'm so excited to tackle this one. Now, I have smelled this one before, I have to be honest with you guys. And I was very angry at Dior for doing this fragrance because I was so used to innovation coming out of the Dior mainstream line, right? You could go back to Sauvage when they did this wonderful citrus fragrance that was ahead of its time. You could go to Dune when they did this fig fragrance. You could go to Fahrenheit when they did this petrol leather violet fragrance. Then, of course, you can go to Dior Homme when they did this beautiful iris and cocoa fragrance, and now they do Sauvage. And so I was upset. I was like, what? Like, I can't believe they're taking the cap from their private, you know, blend series, and they're taking the name from Sauvage, and then they're taking a fragrance that smells like Aventus, and what are they doing? I have a lot of fragrances from Dior. I love this house, and we've looked at a lot from Dior on this show, especially that Privé line. This one came out about a year ago, and the note-wise on this one is pepper, bergamot at the top, geranium, lavender, Sichuan pepper, elemi, pink pepper, vetiver, and patchouli in the middle, and cedar lavender and ambroxan in the base. If you want to purchase this one, it's still super hard to find discounted, so you're going to have to expect to pay about between $80 and $100 for this fragrance. And I've turned quite a bit on this one. I don't think it's innovative. I think it's beneath Dior. But I think Dior wanted to counter Chanel and Bleu de Chanel and release something that was going to be a huge hit for them. And I do think they've done that. At least this does remind me quite a bit of Aventus. It sort of has that pineapple-y ambroxan thing going on. It smells very nice. It is a huge compliment magnet. If you wear this, you are going to get tons of compliments because it smells really good and it performs really well. It's got a beautiful freshness to it. It will be something I pick up, and I'm not going to pick it up because I think it's so interesting. I'm going to pick it up because I'm a collector, and Dior is a brand that I really like. And I'm going to pick it up because it is going to get me compliments, and I know that. So if I'm going to go on a date or, you know, I'm going to be at a place where I do want to fish for compliments, I probably could see myself wearing this. I think it's a very versatile fragrance, but I'm still mad at Dior you know, it's just very conflicted. I think I get why they did this, and I understand it, but I wish they'd been a little more daring. But then how mad can I be if I'm actually going to purchase it? So if I'm ranking these, obviously I would go Bois de Turquie #1. I just think it's very cool, very innovative. I would go Sauvage 2, because as I said, it's a good fragrance. I'd go Still Life 3, and I'd go Incanto Blue 4, and I will be picking up Bois de Turquie at some point, and I will be picking up Dior Salvage at some point. I'm going to wait for Sauvage to hit discounters, but I probably will grab it. So guys, next week, 4 more fragrances. Obviously, we're going to start with one from the house of Dior and Durga, which is a really interesting brand that we really haven't looked at too much on this show, other than Italian citrus. We'll then go to the house of Phaedon. You know, I think we've looked at a couple of those. Bond number 9 and Bentley. Go back to the house of Bentley. So Dior and Durga next week. Phaedon, Bond number 9, and Bentley. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please go to decantshop.com. Support them. Use that website. Use my coupon code MAX12. That's the way these videos will always continue. Look out for the redesign of the Decant Shop website. It's going to be much easier and better to navigate, and I think you guys will really like that. And that's it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you again next week with another episode. Many more videos, or at least more videos coming this weekend. You guys doing a day is going to be